Hello, everyone. How are you this evening? It is a beautiful, beautiful snowy day here in Utah. So I wanted just to really dive in that I feel this video may create a little ahas for everybody. Or my hope with this is that you can experience what I experienced when I got this idea for this video. So I was talking to a friend and she was saying how she's recently become an empty nester and she doesn't really know what she wants to do with herself, or she really doesn't even understand her anymore. And, I was listening, I was feeling her because that happened to me last year. I get that. And then I went on my walk. And on my walk, usually Spirit, God, Jesus, whoever you want to call it. I call it Spirit, higher self. I also call it God and Jesus, but Spirit and higher self helps me with this. Came to me on my walk and started to talk and unravel in my head routine versus scheduling. And when we get stuck in these routines, we miss things. We may miss things. So I'm going to create some basic definitions that I got off of the dictionary. Routine is a sequence of actions regularly followed on a fixed program. Scheduling is a plan of carrying out a process or a procedure, giving lists of intended events and times. So now let's break these two down. Most people think having a routine makes them organized and efficient, and that this is the routine. This is how we do it, and this is what we should be doing, and this does this, and this does that, and then this is how we do it. But is that really true? And when I got, kind of downloaded this message, it really made me take a hard, cold look at my life too. So during the same thing, if we do the same thing every day, and we do the same thing all the time during holidays, could it possibly be that we are missing something? We could miss something because if we're doing the same thing, patterning the same thing each day, what about all this other stuff that goes on over here that we're maybe missing instead of going like this? So let me give you some examples. The man who goes to the same diner every day orders the same breakfast. Routine. That's his routine. Every single day he does that. That works for him. The organization that says, that's not how we do it. We've always done it this way and it's never been wrong, so we'll just keep doing it this way. That's routine. The mom who raises 4 kids and has a really structured, kind of way of doing things and always taking care of their needs, that's routine and not really knowing hers. Going to church every Sunday, whether you want to or not, but you have to go to church every Sunday because what if somebody says, where is she? Why doesn't she show up? That's routine. Saying the prayers, the same things. Just saying your prayers over and over again. Sorry about that. Saying your prayers over and over again, but never really listening to the words. That's routine. So now, even in our society is starting to make things routine. Taco Tuesday. Now everybody feels the need to have a taco on Tuesday. Stores are having Taco Tuesday buffets or, Taco Tuesday specials. Families are like saying, well, it's Tuesday. We will have tacos because it rhymes. That's why we're going to have tacos, because it rhymes with Taco Tuesday. So we're going to have that now. Now we have resorted to our lives to being after a rhyme that rhymes. Kind of makes you go a little, So now let's analyze the routine. The man who goes to the diner each day to get the same breakfast gets told by the doctor he can no longer have eggs. Throwback, and he was told that he could no longer have eggs. But he has eggs all the time. So now that throws his routine off, and that causes unneeded stress in his life. Because that routine, he now has to change, and he's not changed it in years. So the organization that has done the same thing each time, every time, all the time, was started in the 1970s. And in the 1970s, didn't have a lot of technology. Things were a lot different. But this is how we do things. This is how we do it. So we're just going to keep doing that. But think about what they're missing. They're missing new technology to run their organization, maybe a little bit better, maybe a little bit more efficient. Who knows, right? So then the mom who has such a routine, who has created such a routine with her children, and this routine's going on, now it's time she's an empty nester and she's like, well, what do I like to do? What is my role here, right? So then you start going and then going to church on Sunday and getting in the routine that you don't even realize that when you go to church on Sunday, half of you probably are not even enjoying the routine because it's just a routine. I see this person sitting there in that same pew. I see this person sitting there over that same pew. I have the same stories of, how was your week? Oh, my week was good. But what would you be missing maybe if you decided to switch up that routine and say, go skiing on Sunday and make your church the outdoors? Prayers, the same prayer that you say over your meal over and over again, or even the Our Father. When you break down the Our Father and you start to realize that when you were born and raised saying the Our Father over and over again, it became a routine. But then you forgot the words. You forgot how beautiful the words was, the beautiful message in those prayers, because it became routine and you just kept doing it, right? So are you starting to see things out of a bigger, like a different view now? So let's think about kids. Let's switch it to scheduling. When you have this routine that goes on and on all the time, it doesn't allow for change. So think about your kids who are in these routines, and as they start to change and they start to grow, are you allowing them to grow? Are you allowing them to change it up? But or is they're just going to stay with this routine because now they're adults and Thanksgiving comes and we always go to Aunt Betty's on Thanksgiving. So now everybody's going to go to Aunt Betty's on Thanksgiving, even though their family has gotten bigger and maybe they want to start their own traditions, but they can't because the routine of going to Aunt Betty's for Thanksgiving is this constant routine that can't be broken, which doesn't allow growth. Think about that. Routines don't allow growth. Routines are awesome for an assembly line. If we're going to put a car together, let's make sure we routine it. We have the same routine each time so that car comes out perfect the same way, same time. Good. There is no growth in an assembly line. You just have a routine. That's routine will get that car from a bunch of pieces of metal to looking like a beautiful car at the end. But does it work for humans? Does this routine work for humans? So now I can hear the arguments maybe going on in your head. Well, what's going on? Like, I need routine. Routine is what keeps me sane. Or does scheduling keep you sane? Schedule out your meals for the week. They don't have to be the same. They don't have to eat tacos on Tuesday. You can throw in like a hamburger on a Tuesday. But you can plan and schedule your meals. What about scheduling works really good in organizations too, because you schedule out the meeting, you change things up, and now people are excited. And that's the same thing with prayer. Getting used to not saying the same prayer over and over again, changing things up, makes it not a routine, which makes it a beautiful growth along the way. Let me give you an example. Let's take Jesus, for example. Jesus was born into this lovely family in Nazareth, and there was a beautiful synagogue, and they all went to synagogue on the Sabbath, and they said the same prayers, and they practiced the same religion. But Jesus said, I've got this message I want to get out. I know this message has to get out there to people, a message about living life with love and kindness and joy and the ability to heal ourselves and help others. So he could have gotten stuck in the same routine. He could have stayed in Nazareth, went to the same synagogue, did the same thing, listened to the same prayers and did that, but he didn't. He sent Peter out to go create a schedule. Peter, go to this next village and see if this village would love for me to talk to them about what I believe is the way we're supposed to live. Let's stop this routine and let's start going to different villages and spreading our love and our word. And what's the worst that could happen? That somebody would listen to us? That somebody may start to realize that light and love and happiness and joy is the way that we're supposed to live? But you can't live happiness, love, and joy when you're in the same routine, because happiness, love, and joy come from so many different ways. It comes from that day that you finally say, Aunt Betty, let's do some different things this Thanksgiving. just not going to be bringing the cranberry salad, and I'm going to go and spend it with my family. Or like, think about the routine you get in even with your vacations. You born and raised in the same small town, and you never really, so you go away with the same people, and you go to usually the same different spots, like maybe the Jersey Shore, for example, or, Martha's Vineyard, but you go with the same people, the same thing. And in that routine, you talk the same thing with them over and over again, and that routine goes. But then you have this opportunity to go on this other vacation outside of your comfort zone, and you don't go. Because that's not where I vacation. I only vacation here and there with these people. You're kind of missing something, aren't you? Don't you think you're missing growth? So when I really broke this down of like how this routine versus schedule, because like I couldn't understand like why I don't like routines. I really don't. Like, I'm the kind of person that if we're to go to Starbucks, you never know. If I went every single day, you never know what I would want. And you could never have it ready because I never know until that second or that moment. I'm the kind of person that, like, if my job is the same time every time of the week at the same time, I got to switch it up. I can't do same times all the time. I am holding myself accountable to these 1 week videos, which is amazing, but that's accountability. That's accountability to this. It's not a routine for me. But so I thought about how I don't like routine. And then I think about growth, how much I've grown from not liking routines. That I was able to see a higher version of myself. I was able to find spirit again and to find out that my life didn't have to always be in a church. I like going to church at times to listen to the music and be in a community, but I don't have to routinely go to get my messages. And breaking up that routine and understanding it from how it works in my life, I really did realize that when people are in a routine, they tend to lack growth. So I reflected on that. And it really made a lot of sense to me, and I hope it makes sense to you too. So I invite you, as your action steps, to look and do some self-reflection. Self-reflection it needs to be scheduled in your life every day. Scheduled. Not at the same time. It doesn't have to be at the same time. It doesn't have to be routine. Self-reflection is a time when you can schedule time for you. What is my life like right now? Am I just doing the same thing every day? Same thing. So like, I have a habit of driving to work one way and coming back another, so it makes a loop. Tomorrow or Friday, whenever I go to work again, whenever that is, I'm going to go straight and straight. I'm going to get out of that routine. Because what maybe did I miss? Maybe there's something going an opposite way that could be really, really good for me to find out. So I want you to self-reflect on your routine. Not scheduling. Scheduling is needed. It helps for growth. It helps for keeping things organized. But what is this routine that you're creating in your life that maybe you may want to take a harder look at? And sometimes it's going to be the tough ones, the tough times that you're really thinking about, well, I thought that was so organized. I thought that really worked for me. And kids don't always need a routine. They need a schedule. But they're supposed to grow. We're supposed to grow. Each day we're supposed to grow with knowledge and spirituality, and this awakening is starting everybody to understand certain things. That what about if I just stop doing that for a minute and see what I could possibly be missing? I invite you. It's not the end of the world. Take this week, next week, do one thing that you see you pattern yourself from that same patterning and just switch it up a bit. Make it easy. If it's how you go to work every day, go a different way. So if you're watching this video on YouTube, I ask you to hit the subscribe button and that little red bell to know when my next video is up. And if you have any comments, please, did you find out that routine was routine good or bad for you? Do you find that do you do routines? What is your routine that you want to unpattern? And if you really want to get deep, message me and let's make a phone conversation about a blueprint of your life. I'll take you through the blueprint of your life and you will find out that you are more abundant than you even possibly know of health, wealth, and happiness. And you will uncover what works for you so that you can build your schedule and your creativeness and your awakening around something that it works for you, not that patterning that works for everybody eating a taco on a Tuesday. So if that's of interest to you, message me or call me or email me, whatever works for you. Go to my website, nancysiaska.com. We're all meant to grow and evolve. We are all here doing the same thing every day, growing and evolving. And so living with grace and ease, and that is what I want to help you with. So if you have any other questions or any concerns that you would like for the next chat, please feel free to message me or leave it in the comments below. Until then, I wish you the brokenness of your routine.